salt.
Alternatively, we could just bring on Birdman. Hey,
Ooh. Hey,
Hello.
What's up?
How you doing, man?
how's it going?
I am doing very well, and it's going pretty good.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I guess the way to introduce. I mean, if anybody doesn't know who he is, that's kind of crazy. But you started off you big success with Cinema Sins, which is objectively better than Cinema Sins. And then more. I mean, you said you've kind of gone at these guys a few times in your videos, but only recently did you like start making target kind of like very specific videos about first was just kind of the grift generally, and a few guys, and then Critical Drinker was the most recent one, and it was really freaking good.
So 2018 I uploaded my first Cinema Sins video, and really I started that series because I noticed he was saying wrong things, right? Mm-hmm. And the first video that I made was about Blade Runner 2049, which is my third favorite film of all time.
It's one of my favorites.
Amen. Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's so good. I'm really sad that it faltered at the box office or whatever.
I mean the first one did too, so I just hope it finds an audience because it's so fucking good.
Agreed. I can't wait for the new TV show coming out with Michelle Yeoh. That's going to be pretty good.
I mean, it's no Star Wars. Let's be honest.
Sure.
So anyway, I did it for a few years, and everything was good. Everything's fine. But then I started to notice people started talking about certain movies a certain way, and I didn't really get it because, I don't consume the grift sort of content, you know what I mean? Like, I was watching Critical Drinker years ago, and then I started noticing things about the way that he would talk about movies. And I don't know if you guys seen my tweet on this, but like in 2021, I was like, you know what? I'm done with this dude because like everything is, if it's not straight white male, it's bad. So I just stopped watching him at that point in time. Mm-hmm. So years go by, I'm just like noticing all these people talking about these things. I'm hearing stuff about Star Wars. I'm hearing stuff about, Marvel. So I'm like, these guys they're wrong like Cinema Sins. So I just started taking shots, in my videos. And people were like, hey, Birdman, are you going to ever like make a full video on these guys? You should do everything wrong with the Critical Drinker. And I was like, I do actually want to talk about the type of shit that they're talking about. So I guess I've been taking notes for a while, and I just decided, right?
Yeah.
I just decided to throw it all into a video, and I made technically the drinker video is the second one, but I just decided to throw all that into a video about him, and I have more planned. I have it's not just the Critical Drinker for me. It's the Quartering, it's Geeks and Gamers, it's all of those guys that form that nebulous of hate against these movies and things like that. So that's really what it is. And I see one of my most recent videos. I just uploaded a video. It was me responding to this guy who's an MRA. He didn't like the first video that I put up, so it's nice. Wild. That video is insane. So.
I first just thought, I was like, oh, you're just doing like a shoe review. I was like, that's a bit like off brand compared to the rest, but cool.
Yeah, it's a joke in the video.
It's a weird,
nice. Yeah.
I mean, we haven't really covered them. Maybe we mentioned them a little bit here and there, but it is kind of weird that we've haven't covered them. But so what about Nerdrotic? You looked into him at all?
So here's my opinion on Nerdrotic. I think he's a piece of shit. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse here.
No, yeah, please.
Absolutely.
Like more
fucking
than,
no.
Yeah, fucking stop.
I don't like him at all. I used to watch The Critical Drinker, so I understand the appeal. I don't get the appeal of Nerdrotic at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me neither.
So
Yeah,
he
that's the
will
thing.
be
So, like,
getting put in a video.
yeah, if you watch a critical drinker, like, you can watch lots of like just reviews from him, and it'll be fine.
Right, and
Neurotic,
that's
all of it
why I
is just
did.
awful. Yeah.
That's
I
why I
mean,
did, because I'm a film reviewer, so
I'd
I
say that
care about film.
CinemaSins isn't really a grifter. Would you say they are? I mean, I don't feel like they're just lazy, maybe, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I always felt the difference between these guys and CinemaSins is that, like, CinemaSins just, I guess maybe it's just hiding to a degree. Will also just say that they're joking, which still isn't great, but like at least they'll admit they're dumb. Whereas these guys just double down on their dumb shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that
time.
CinemaSins is pretty harmless compared to a lot of these guys.
Yeah,
when you look at the
that's.
picture.
I have the same opinion. Is that they're fairly harmless compared to these guys. But I will say that I've been making the case for a long time that they are responsible for these know-it-all people who think that what they're saying is objectively true.
Yes.
You know, whenever you hear, "Oh, I'm objectively critiquing a movie," it's like, bro.
Oh, have we heard that?
I'm trying to think if we heard that. Never heard that in my life.
Well,
we've heard it.
And
I saw that you had gotten into, or I don't know if you how engaged you were with it on your end, but I saw this these guys from like Ecom or something like that were coming at you, making videos about you.
Yeah. So yeah, I know it's a very weird name. They're, you know, Mauler wannabes.
EFAP clones, yeah.
Oh, sure.
And that's why they're called Ecom. Get it? Fapcom. Yeah.
Yep.
Hilarious.
So what was it, a few years ago, 2 years ago, I think, this guy named Madvocate decided to include me randomly in one of his videos. And, you know, I'd never heard of the guy before. And he just like took a few shots at me. It wasn't really that big a deal, but I just decided to respond as a point of honor. Like, you see that video, the top left where it says my response, where I'm responding to the MRA, my latest video. That's exactly what I did to him. So I just kind of responded to what he said, and his fans went ape shit, and they just decided to, you know, start critiquing me, and then started making videos about me, especially this guy named Shandy Dasquire. So I responded to him. I made a couple videos on him. I do not shy away from criticism. So when people, you know, say something about me, I will take a look at it and respond if I feel like it's necessary. So that's where the Ecom guys came in. They're just Mauler wannabes, just like Madvocate is a Mauler wannabe. So that's what they're doing to me. And I really only watched the one video that they made. Is there multiple? I don't even know.
I mean, I know that it seemed like they were doing like a kind of an Inception type of thing where it was like Shandy was showing a video that was Madvocates talking about something else. I think, I don't know. Just like,
okay.
You know, who knows? You know, I just was paying attention to how like these guys, they have a really good vocabulary. They just don't know how to use it for any kind of actual analysis of film or anything.
I see.
You know, so they just like spend all their time like coming up with really fucking cleverly worded insults and shit. And it's just like, not saying anything of substance, man.
I was called a variety of colorful names in Shandy's video. That type of stuff doesn't really bother me. Like, I don't really think about it too much. But yeah, that's what I noticed about them, is they just wanted to insult me.
Yeah.
As opposed to, you know, understand what I'm trying to say.
I'm on their page now, the Ecom page, and it's interesting to me because EFAP actually has a meaning behind that name. Like, that's what makes it funny.
Right.
Ecom is just a very dumbed down way of copying what EFAP is. And it says they're managed by a very critical Brit. So literally they're not only copying like EFAP's whole entire format, but the person that manages the channel is basically the critical drinker, I guess. It's like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
I didn't even know. I never even looked into these guys. I didn't even want to respond to Ecom.
Yeah.
It's like,
I have a weird obsession with like digging through these channels when they come into my radar. So
yeah, it's the first time I've ever heard of them, and
we've heard of EFAP quite a bit. You know, we tried to get them to have conversation with us. They wouldn't do it.
Yeah, they changed their policy on talk to people since with us, pretty much. So
specifically for us, it's so funny.
Yeah,
yeah. But I mean, I find it very interesting, like hearing that you don't care about the insults, which I think is definitely needed to make content about them, because you've probably experienced that they come, like their fans come for you hard, you know, after you've made a video. I can imagine there's some not very nice comments on the critical drinker one that we see right here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and because we do see a lot of people come into this space, start to call these people out, have good intentions, and then just get bombarded, and they're not ready for that. And you know, and the insults get to them, and that's fair. You know, I don't think it's necessarily normal to be able to take that amounts of insults and then not have it affect you. But that's where it's like it's needed to make these kind of videos to not have that stuff affect you. You know, to just not care. Like I care about people I respect criticizing me. That's something I care about. I don't care about people who have no fucking clue who I am, who are just fanboys of a channel that I think is disgusting. I don't care that they come and put a bunch of insults, you know? And it's like, I think that's the mentality that is kind of needed to make this kind of content.
I agree with you. Like if Jeremy Johns or Chris Stuckman says something about me, I probably would take it a little bit more serious than say a troll on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I think I'm uniquely prepared for this because I've been talking about CinemaSins for going on 7 years now, and they are much bigger than the Critical Drinker and any of his cohorts. And I've been getting this type of vitriol for years. It doesn't bother me. It's something I've just been dealing with, and I know how to handle it.
I mean,
like,
honestly,
if you go in any of my videos, I talk shit to these people. I talk back. I'm not afraid of mixing it up in the comment section at all.
A lot of these guys that show up and just like, hey, they have these fucking disgusting, vile insults, and they're defending like vile content and stuff. I see that as like a badge of honor, man. I'm like, that's basically a compliment to me at this point.
Yeah,
because a lot of the time,
dude, then I'm good.
A lot of the time, they indirectly affirm your arguments. You're like, yeah, you're proving me right. Like someone comes in, you've just called their messiah a bigot or something, or like call them weird, and then they write something bigoted, or they say something weird, or they do exactly what you just called them out for, and you're like, well, thank you, very nice of you.
I have been saying that for so long. It's like you guys are defending a guy that I'm saying is an ism, a racism, a sexism, and then you come at me and then do the ism towards me. It's like, yeah, I know. Exactly.
In one of Jeremy's recent videos from Geeks and Gamers, he says he's going to grift because people call him a grifter. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cool, bro.
I mean, you were already doing that, but okay.
Right, exactly.
That's when Jeremy is the more outspoken one about like the whole grifting thing. A lot of them a lot of them get very touchy about it, but he's just and I don't know if that's respectful or not, or just I don't know, but he does it.
I do love anytime you see like somebody comes up and says like I'm a grifter or something in that community, and then Gary's face just go.
Gary gets so annoyed by it.
Have you seen that clip from Friday Night Tights where Jeremy Geeks and Gamers just like, we do is we take a little thing and make a big narrative out of it, right?
I saw that.
Yeah,
good
stuff.
And then especially Gary gets very, very upset about it.
He looks kind of troubled right at first there.
Yeah. But just quickly bringing it back to when you because we mentioned CinemaSins, and I agree that like them and themselves are not nearly as bad as some of these other channels, but still with the amount of years that they've been big and the impact they've had, I do believe that they have had a very negative impact on how a lot of people view and analyze and understand film and TV and culture and stuff. And we've seen offsprings of it, like the EFAPs, like the Maulers, who think that, oh yeah, film is objective, and if you minutely go around and nitpick things, right, that's the same as movie criticism, and I think that's had a very bad impact. And at the same time, that also allows people like these grifters who are saying bigoted shit to do the same thing, right? It's like, oh well, the Acolyte is objectively bad because look at this tiny little, there's a fire in space, right? And look, there's black people as well. Like it's almost like gone to the extreme, and it's like, yeah, that's a bad effect.
Everybody's so desperate to like defend their fucking opinions as being some kind of fact, and it's absurd. Media literacy is sorely lacking.
No, I absolutely agree. I think that, and I've been saying this, I think in my Sonic 1 video, I said that CinemaSins is just responsible for this glut of idiot YouTubers that think they know better than filmmakers, that think that they know how to make movies. And it's weird because like none of these people are making movies.
Oh,
so,
Mm.
I'm like, if they knew
green
better, I mean, these guys have the resources, don't they? I mean, like look at the type of crowdfunding Eric July was able to get. You know what I mean? Like, look at the amount of funding these people are able to acquire from their rabid fan base. It would seem if you really cared about how movies were made, you would get into the field and try to change that.
But yeah, no, it's all about just making money, man. Well, like using fandom and art as just like another revenue stream.
That's one of the things that makes them grifters to me. Is like I don't think that they really care. I think that they're looking at these films and they're using films to push rhetoric. They're rhetoricians, and they're using film and media to disguise that and to push that rhetoric to their crazy large audiences. And that's one of the reasons why I stood up, was because like I actually care about this stuff. Like I love film. If you look at my Twitter, you'll see I'm in the movies 3-4 times a week. Like I love film. So for me, this is an important discussion to have.
The new Kraven the Hunter trailer. So let's take a look at this movie. Oh, it's a lot of white people. It's a white person. It's a white guy. A lot of white people. I don't know that language. Is that another white guy? A lot of men too. Yeah, more men, and they're white, because of course.